Your phone just went dark. No calls, no messages, no internet. But what actually happens inside your phone when you flip airplane mode on? Most people think it just turns off the Wi-Fi and cellular signal, but there is a lot more going on under the hood. In this video, we are going to break down exactly what airplane mode does, why airlines still ask you to use it, and whether it actually matters for flight safety anymore. Before we continue, drop a comment telling us your name and which city you are watching from. We love knowing where our audience is tuning in. When you activate airplane mode, your phone does not just stop trying to connect to networks. It sends shutdown commands to 4 separate radio systems inside your device. First, the cellular modem stops scanning for cell towers. This happens within milliseconds. The phone sends a detach request to the last tower it was connected to, telling the network to stop routing calls and data to your number. Second, the Wi-Fi chip powers down its transmitter and stops broadcasting probe requests. These are the signals your phone constantly sends to ask nearby routers if they recognize it. Third, Bluetooth goes silent. Your phone stops advertising its presence to other devices, and any active connections get terminated. Fourth, GPS stops receiving signals from satellites. This one is passive, it only receives data, it does not transmit anything, but airplane mode shuts it down to save battery. All of this happens in under 2 seconds. Now here is something most people do not realize. Airplane mode does not physically disconnect the antennas. The hardware is still there, fully functional. What changes is that the software stops the antennas from transmitting or actively listening. This is why you can manually turn Wi-Fi and Bluetooth back on even when airplane mode is active. The phone keeps those radios in a standby state, ready to reactivate if you choose. So why do airlines still require this? The official reason is radio interference. Every phone on a plane is constantly searching for cell towers, even if you are not making a call. At cruising altitude, a phone can see dozens of towers on the ground, sometimes over 100. When hundreds of passengers have phones doing this at the same time, the collective radio noise can interfere with the aircraft's navigation and communication systems. Modern planes are heavily shielded, but older aircraft, especially those built before 2010, have less protection against radio frequency interference. There have been documented cases where phones caused issues with instruments like the Instrument Landing System, which helps pilots land in low visibility. But here is where it gets interesting. Most modern aircraft are designed to handle this interference. Aviation authorities have tested phones extensively, and newer planes have better shielding and filtering. In fact, many airlines now offer in-flight Wi-Fi and allow Bluetooth, which proves the planes can handle some radio activity. So why keep the rule? 2 reasons. First, consistency. Aviation regulations move slowly because safety margins are extreme. Changing a rule that works, even if it might be outdated, requires years of testing and approval. Second, ground network congestion. When a phone at 35,000 feet connects to a cell tower, it creates problems for the network on the ground. The phone is moving too fast, switching between towers every few seconds, and this clogs up the system for people on the ground trying to use their phones normally. Cell towers are designed for users moving at car speeds, not 500 miles per hour. A single phone on a plane can tie up multiple towers simultaneously because the signal reaches so many at once. Now let's talk about what airplane mode does for your battery. When your phone is searching for a signal and cannot find one, it cranks up the transmit power to maximum. This drains the battery fast. In airplane mode, the phone stops searching entirely, which can extend battery life by 30 to 50%, depending on your usage. If you are in a remote area with weak signal, enabling airplane mode and manually turning on Wi-Fi can actually give you better battery life than leaving everything on. One more thing people often ask, does airplane mode really block all radiation? The answer is mostly yes. When airplane mode is on and you have not manually re-enabled anything, your phone emits almost 0 radio frequency energy. The only active component is the screen and the processor. This is why some people use airplane mode at night, not for flight safety, but to reduce electromagnetic exposure while they sleep. There is no strong scientific evidence that phone radiation at normal levels is harmful, but airplane mode does eliminate it if that is a concern for you. So does airplane mode still matter in 2024? For flight safety, the risk is low on modern aircraft, but the rule stays because the consequences of interference, even if rare, are serious. For network performance on the ground, it absolutely matters, and for battery life, it is one of the simplest ways to make your phone last longer when you are off the grid. Next time you are on a plane and the flight attendant asks you to switch to airplane mode, you will know it is not just a random rule. It is a combination of legacy safety protocol, network management, and a built-in